Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back with another episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and today we go to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia for the Spanish Grand Prix. We have an R&D event. So what does Chris have to say? Oh, we have our new MGUK fitted, so that is very nice to see. Hopefully that should be a bit more reliable from now on as we go to practice. The engine wear was still quite a limiting factor in some of the sessions, so I did just do the track acclimatization first before I ended this session and decided to do the rest with some newer engine parts. So here we go across the line to finish the first of the practice programs, which went quite well. I decided to leave the yellow parts just for now, the energy store and the control electronics, because I thought they would last the entirety of the race weekend on the wear that they were on at that current point in time, and then I could also go back to the orange parts for future practice sessions. And the gearbox looked good, so I left the gearbox. This is how all the practice sessions were after the end of practice, so all the programs and everything, purple and green all around, so very nice to see that there. Here we go for qualifying on the fastest tyre available, the soft compound, and everybody was saying in real life that the tyre compounds were a step too hard. All three of them were, so that is a factor here obviously, but as you go into turn 1 we are doing very well for ourselves, and coming through the final sector we are still running in P10, so hopefully we can keep that up. I am going to move down into rich mix from Max here just across the line to keep a little bit of wear off the engine, although it's probably not going to make much of a difference. And there we go, P10 in qualifying, so we are going to be starting on these soft compound tyres that we did qualifying on. Here are the resource points that we have available to us, 687 after both the practice sessions and qualifying. Rivalry update is going well. I'm leading the rivalry against Kevin Magnussen, and the team approval is going up, so that's very nice. Let's have a look at what upgrades we can do. I think I'm going to go for more reliability upgrades once again, just because the engine is not the most reliable part in the car. I mean, I could go for some performance, but I think reliability or durability is where I need to go for some of these parts. So I think I can afford a couple of these now, so that's good. I don't know which part I should go for. I don't really need to go for gearbox because that is already quite good. I might go for the turbocharger wear and upgrade that, so hopefully that will last a bit longer. Can I do any more? No, I could recommend upgrade. Okay, I might do that. But anyway, let's go to the start of the race.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, and Verstappen.
So here is the race strategy, pitting on about lap 7 for the medium tyres, and here we go, sitting on the starting grid behind Hulkenberg and ahead of Kvyat, and it's lights out, and away we go for the start of this Spanish Grand Prix. Kvyat instantly overtakes me, and Sainz is looking very hungry to make up a position in my rear left mirror as we break, opening up a gap there, 3 wide with Perez and Massa on the inside, Perez in the middle, and I go round the outside to get the inside here through this sweeping right-hander, and I'm up into P7 now here at the start of the race. I'm going to try and take an inside line, but Bottas is very far ahead in the top 6. Obviously, being a Mercedes, is going to be much quicker than my Haas car here on lap 1, or just during the race anyway. The top 6 are pretty untouchable unless they have issues, or we have a sort of random weather like rain or something like we had at China. But I'm just going to keep with them for as long as I can really here on this first lap, see if I can actually get any closer, which doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm actually dropping back from them a little bit, with the top 6 being a lot quicker than the midfield, obviously with us being battling in the midfield with Perez, Massa, and then what looks like a Renault behind us. I'm not sure which one though. I believe probably Hulkenberg there. It looks like, I think I saw a red helmet, but anyway, coming round the final corner of the first lap, we have Vettel, Raikkonen, Hamilton, the two Red Bulls, Bottas, me, Perez, Massa, Renault, Hulkenberg, I believe, and then I believe that's it for the running order that I can see. I believe that's the top 10. And now coming on to lap 6, this is the first real action besides the start of the race, with Perez coming right up behind me with DRS. Then we have Massa behind him. Let's switch to Massa's view of this overtake. Perez moves to the inside line there and goes up the inside. I have to go around the outside, which gives me the inside, and that opens up a space for Perez, and I have to go around the outside once again here, but I have kept my position P7 ahead of Perez behind me. And now we are coming round the end of lap 7 into the pits. Now we go. I'm going to try and get a really good pit entry, braking late here and just about getting it in on the dot for the pit limiter to come on, and there behind me you can see Perez. So hopefully we're going to get a good stop here with a good release. So as we go here, we're going to hold the clutch and hold the revs, and we can go green light, and we are just about ahead of Perez there. So very good position to come back out in the race. And now you can see a battle there between Stroll, Ocon, Van Dorn and Verline, which we are coming out into the thick of just behind, and we are going to be running now behind Verline the Sauber and Van Dorn the McLaren. So hopefully we can overtake the slower cars and get a gap between ourselves and Perez. So can I go up the inside here? Oh yes, just about up the inside of Verline there, and now we can focus on Stoffel Van Dorn ahead of us here in this race. So let's follow behind him now, and we're going to try and look up the inside into this left-hander here up the hill. And are we close enough? Not quite. Van Dorn is able to keep his position ahead of us, and now we go up the hill onto what will be the DRS straight, and we will get DRS on Stoffel Van Dorn. So let's use that to good effect here, getting in the slipstream, going to the left-hand side, getting the inside line and overtaking Stoffel Van Dorn for P12 in this race, or P11, I'm not too sure, but it's around there. Anyway, we have Esteban Ocon now to focus on and overtake, and we are going side by side with Ocon through this final sector of the Spanish Grand Prix circuit, and we are now ahead of Esteban Ocon as Ocon, Van Dorn and Verline all go into the pits, and I think Stroll has also gone in, so that gives us P10, P9, and now back up into P7 here on lap 9 in this race. So very good pit stop there, very good pit out lap, and we have got a bit more of a gap between ourselves and Sergio Perez in the pink Force India. And now on the end of lap 12, start of lap 13, Max Verstappen has retired from the race, and here he is in a wall, so that will give me P6 in this Spanish Grand Prix, which is a position I didn't expect to get in. So lucky for me, sad for Max Verstappen, and quite realistic judging by the amount of DNFs he's had in real life. I presume that's a technical failure, not just him crashing it into the wall, so sad for him, but lucky for us, we now have P6, still though defending from Perez, so hopefully we'll be able to keep this position for another 4 laps or so to the end of the race. And now coming on to the end of lap 16 to start the final lap, Perez even is very close behind me. He has been closing in a lot each lap. He's not quite close enough at the moment to make an overtake, I don't think, although the proximity area is getting more solid, and he's not quite close enough to make the overtake, so we only have this last lap to defend to him, and then it's all over, and we could have P6 or not P7 depending on how well we can defend. The other cars that were trailing us have dropped off now. That includes Massa and Hulkenberg in the Renault, so it's just the two of us. So I think the lowest position, unless I make a massive mistake, is going to be P7 in this race. Kimi Raikkonen is the race winner now, and here we go up through to this left-hander now, through to the DRS detection up this hill here under the Rolex banner, and through the right-hander, lifting off and putting the throttle back on. I'm going to keep it in standard to limit any engine wear on the two parts that are wearing out a little bit. but isn't too bad as we go around this left hairpin corner, and we are still ahead of Esteban Ocon, so I reckon we have got P6 unless I lose the back end too much, and I'm having to go wide here, which is going to allow Ocon to, oh sorry, Perez even to, again I keep saying Ocon but it's Perez fighting me, but anyway, here we come through the last chicane and up to the final corner now. I can really start to relax as we go across the line. There is the engine wear on the two parts that are wearing out and a bit of the gearbox as well, but here we go, P6. This is a really good result, really happy with this, another points finish this season.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari, it hardly looked in doubt. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari, on the top step once more. Then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Will the lead at the top...
Here we have the race result. Kimi Raikkonen wins the race with Vettel 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Ricciardo 4th, Bottas 5th, me 6th, Perez 7th, Kvyat 8th, Hülkenberg 9th, and Alonso 10th, Massa 11th, Magnussen 12th, and Palmer in 13th there, so sadly he finishes outside the points, and Verstappen obviously retired from the race. So if we go to the drivers' standings, you can see I've moved up one position into P9 ahead of Esteban Ocon. Magnussen stays 15th, Kvyat moves ahead of Hülkenberg, Ericsson moves ahead of Verline there, and Perez also moves up into P8. There in the constructors, not much moving around for Haas, however Mercedes have moved ahead of Red Bull, and Toro Rosso have moved ahead of McLaren, so good for Toro Rosso to be moving ahead of McLaren here in Spain, and you can see the result is pretty good there. Anyway, resource points, we have 307, very nice, not enough for any significant upgrades that I want to do at the moment. Rivalry update, I have almost won the rivalry, or 5 scores ahead of my teammate Kevin Magnussen. There goes the team approval going up, and here is the career score after Catalonia. There we go, that's the full career score there, and this is the end of the video. So I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, give it a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more F1 2017 content, because I will be continuing with this Haas career next time at Monaco.